Welcome back to my series, Dance Moms Uncovered. With the help of court documents and cast interviews, we can get a pretty good idea of how much the Dance Moms cast was paid for their time on the show. Thanks to these sources, we can see who made the most money, who made less than minimum wage, and the things that the production company splurged their money on instead. In this video, I calculated the cast's hourly rates based on the claim that they filmed for around 60 hours per week, because there is much more to the cast's salaries than the producers cared to show. Feel free to share your thoughts on the following evidence. First, let's look at the girls' salary. In the lawsuit that Kelly, Brooke and Paige filed against Collins Avenue and Abby, they submitted an amendment of their contract as evidence for the case. According to this document, the Highlands entered into their original contract on March 18, 2011. It was amended at least twice on October 27, 2011, and then on October 25, 2012. It is written in this second amendment in 2012 that Brooke and Paige would be paid $1,050 for each episode that they filmed. That is approximately $17.50 per hour of work. This figure was seemingly confirmed by Abby, who claimed in 2015 that the kids made $1,000 per episode from seasons 1 to 4.
These kids that just performed for you, for season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, they made $1,000 an episode.
Kendall has claimed that she and Jill were paid at an even lower rate than this during their first 2 seasons of Dance Moms. She says that they were paid $500 per episode, which they then had to split between themselves. Assuming they divided this payment evenly between them, this number would become $4.17 per hour, which would be below the Pennsylvania minimum wage. Kendall's statement is consistent with what Jill has said about the kids not receiving their own paychecks at first.
So we signed a 7-year contract with Lifetime Television, and my mom and I split a contract of $500 a week for maybe 2.5 seasons.
And the kids didn't get a paycheck. We got one paycheck and had to split.
As for later seasons of Dance Moms, we don't have much information about the girls' salaries. The only one who has made claims about it is Abby, who says that the kids made $2,000 per episode of season 5, which is around $33.33 per hour.
Season 5, they got a big raise. $2,000 an episode.
Next, let's explore the mum's salary. Christy has claimed that for all the hours of work it took to produce season 1, she made a total of $600. This is an insanely low amount of income for the number of hours worked, at around 83 cents per hour, which is well under the minimum wage.
I'll tell you how much money I made in season 1 of Dance Moms.
Yeah, you will
$600.
Yeah.
The Highlands contract amendment gives us a clear indication of the kind of income that the mums received in salaries and bonuses. And from these numbers, it seems that the mums earned even more money than their children whilst filming the show. According to this document, Kelly was earning $4,835 per episode, which is around $80.58 per hour. Each cast member was promised an additional $10,000 per special or reunion episode. The Highlands were given $40,000 to share amongst them as a completion bonus, which would be awarded to them for completing 26 episodes of season 3. Their season 4 completion bonus would have been $60,000 if they had stayed until the end of the season. Production agreed to pay them a lump sum of $12,500 for the holiday special. In season 3, they were promised a clothing allowance of $3,500 and a babysitting allowance of $300 per week that their services were used. And finally, they agreed to receive a 1% royalty of the revenue that was generated from selling any licensed Dance Moms merchandise and products using their faces, voices, or likeness. Despite all these promises, the Highlands claimed in their lawsuit that they didn't receive all their wages from season 4. Nor did they receive all their bonuses for seasons 3 and 4. What has always disturbed me about these documents is that despite Kelly insisting that she was desperate to leave the show for years, she proclaims the opposite in these documents, saying that she was willing to continue filming the show if Collins Avenue continued to pay them. Evidence number 3, Abby's salary. Since her indictment in 2015, Abby's finances seem to be an open book. It appears that she was paid the most out of any cast member, despite being on the same weekly filming schedule as everyone else. According to her indictment documents, Abby entered her initial contract in 2011, which was called a participatory agreement. It seems that she initially told the courts that her contract did not guarantee she would earn any income. Since then, however, Abby has claimed that her initial contract promised her $1,500 per episode. This would be around $25 per hour.
So I signed a contract for $1,500 an episode.
Court documents state that she renewed her agreement in October 2011 and sometime in 2012. In July 2012, she apparently signed a binding deal term sheet, agreeing to produce Abby's Ultimate Dance competition for Collins Avenue. She was promised up to $25,000 per episode of Season 1, which means she received up to $250,000 for the whole first season. It is claimed that her agreement for Seasons 2 to 4 of Dance Moms goes as follows. In Season 2 of Dance Moms, she earned $8,000 per episode, which is around $133.33 per hour. For Season 3, she earned $12,500 per episode, which is around $208.33 per hour. In Season 4, she earned $15,000 per episode, which is around $250 per hour. These documents state that Collins Avenue paid her in non-traditional ways too, claiming that sometimes Abby asked Collins Avenue to pay for her personal and business expenses directly. Apparently, Collins Avenue paid $50,000 to her company, Rain Dance Productions, on January 31st, 2013, so that she could pay for studio improvements. 4. The network's revenue. Unfortunately, it's very hard to estimate how much revenue Dance Moms has generated for Lifetime and its parent companies. But the show's numbers indicate that it was one of Lifetime's most highly watched shows at the time that it was airing. According to Lifetime's press releases, Season 1 had 60 million viewers across its linear, online, and video-on-demand services. By the time the banned episode of Season 2, Episode 8 aired, this number had jumped up to 118 million. The most viewed episode of the series was Season 3, Episode 1, which attracted 2.8 million viewers in its premiere alone. According to a Hollywood Reporter article, Lifetime jumped from being ranked number 17 amongst cable networks in early 2011 to ranking within the top 10 in 2012. It is believed that Dance Moms was a huge contributor to this shift. It is reported that there was an 8% increase in Lifetime's advertising revenue from 2011 to 2012. By the end of 2012, they were earning around $322.6 million, which was approximately a $25 million increase. Given that Dance Moms ran for 8 seasons, it's safe to estimate that Dance Moms earned tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars for Lifetime. And that's just advertising. They also earn money from merchandise, DVD sales, YouTube revenue, product placement, and syndication to channels around the world. And finally, we have production costs. To finish off this video, let's look at some of the areas where the production company was willing to splurge their money. Abby has claimed that John Corella, one of the original creators of the show, was given $100,000 to create the show and to find Abby. Christy and Kelly have revealed that the mums on the show, along with any guest dancers, didn't have to pay for their dance tuition. Given that competition solos usually cost up to $100 and costumes usually cost up to $500, it seems logical that the production company would have covered these costs, as well as the competition entrance fees.
Competition is crazy expensive.
There's no need to do more, in my opinion, there's no need to do more than one solo at a competition.
Yeah.
Like, that's $100. Like, do one.
And then the cost, like solo costumes, I mean, they were like $500.
We would not have said anything about tuition because
Yeah,
at
because
that
we weren't paying.
if you were on the show, you weren't paying tuition. The show was paying our tuition.
Apparently, the production company paid for the Botox that the mums received in Season 1, and they even spent $200 or $300 on Kathy's husband's jerky to pin on Chloe's unitard for the beef jerky commercial. Furthermore, Abby and Jill have confirmed that it was actually production who bought the bench for Abby's studio, not Jill.
We were paying for the Botox.
Yeah, hi, the show's paying for it, but furthermore, don't you worry about where I spend my money.
Yeah, and we didn't really get much Botox.
No, I think we got one vial each.
I think I got 3 shots. That was it.
No, we did not get a whole lot of Botox. I think it equaled like $200.
That they came in, the crew came in, and they bought like $200 or $300 worth of jerky because they had this unitard that they pinned all of this meat on then.
Jill did not buy the chair. Production bought it. Just letting everybody know.
Christy and Kelly also suspect that the show paid for scholarships to be given out at the ALDC recital in season 2. They don't think that the ALDC Parents Association could have afforded to pay them on their own.
Probably thinking that the ALDC Parents Association did not do the scholarships. I'm pretty sure like that the TV show did.
I didn't even think about that.
So what do you guys think? What was the most surprising thing to you about the way that the cast was paid? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.